Silence for Rick Belden, so if you would remain standing, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're pausing for a moment of silence in memory of Rick Belden. He served the Board of Education as the business financial manager for over 20 years. Did so in a very astute and competent manner. Was a very gentle person, very kind, and served the town of Seymour very well.
Thank you, Mr. Stanek.
Thank you.
Order, pledge allegiance. All right. Public comment? Public comment? Hi, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Pam Dawkins Peitel. Sorry. Obviously, I don't make a living as a singer. I live in Middletown, Connecticut, 149 Glenwood Terrace. My husband and I co-own Guitar Fixer Bob LLC here in Seymour under the Strand Marquee. I am coming here because just to reiterate some of the concerns that I have about what's been going on recently regarding the parking lot, the Strand Theater parking lot. My husband and I have owned our store here for nearly 14 years, and there have been parking issues consistently, and we've all dealt with those. Recently, though, we have been verbally assaulted by people in the parking lot who are upset because they can't park in the private parking that is in the 165 Main Street Inc. To the point where I actually emailed the chief of police because these people were taking down signs, they were yelling, they were approaching my husband, I was worried about them approaching our customers, and this is not acceptable. The chief of police did respond and reassured us that he would be willing, their police will be there if we need them. But I think a lot of these people have been responding to what I think of as incendiary language that has been coming from some parts of the town about this parking lot, and some misinformation that has been shared repeatedly despite numerous attempts to make corrections. In the first place, how can you not know the lot is partly privately owned? This isn't something new. The Knights of Columbus have owned the building for about 60 years. That part of the lot has been partly owned that long. In the age of really easy Google searches, I can only describe that as sort of a deliberate and rather boastful at times ignorance and disinformation attempt. Again, really disturbing. And I'm happy to show anybody here on the board, how to find this information online on the Seymour GIS system. It's really easy. You can find it in about 2.5 minutes. I've got printouts, and they're also included in the packet that was sent to the Board of Selectmen today or yesterday, I'm not sure when, from 165 Main Street Inc. I do have further copies of those packets if anybody forgot theirs. I do understand that you guys are hearing from a lot of local business owners, a lot of townspeople who have been using that lot freely for years and feel that they are losing a perk, something that is necessary for their business. But it has always, or at least 60 years or so, been private property. It just hasn't been enforced. And I do wonder about those people who have been using the lot. Have they ever even said thank you? Have they ever shown any appreciation by making a donation to one of the many fundraisers that is held in that building and that has contributed greatly to the quality of life in this town for a lot of people? And to those business people, I also want to make the point that once all of the new cars, maybe 30 for the 15 new apartments that are going to be built or attempting to be built using that parking lot as justification, are they going to be able to really park there? We're going to have, if we have up to 30 new cars at least, and that's probably a low estimate, where are they going to go? They're going to go to that lot. And that's not going to be something that's additive to the town. I also recognize that the town makes money off the lot through permits, through, whatever you've done over the years. Not a lot of money, but money. Local businesses and property owners that attract tenants and shoppers because of that lot also make business. It seems the only group who is not making any money is the one that actually owns that part of the parking lot. And I don't think that's fair. They've never asked for any money. All they've asked for is to not have people park overnight, to not have people who are tenants in other buildings take up all this parking. And that's all they've asked for, and they've been met with some really rude responses to that. They own part of that lot, and they do have a legal lease, again, part of the packet that was given to you guys, on the rest of the lot. And I do think that because 165 Main Street Inc., and I'm honest here, we are tenants of theirs, so I have a vested interest in my business my customers being able to park in that lot, have a place to park. They've been really transparent. They have shared everything as, in a timely manner. They have made multiple attempts to lease their part of the lot to the town. Most recently, I think, April, something like that. And now we're hearing some mythology or possible mythology about a railroad lease that nobody's showing, nobody can find. I think if such a document actually exists, it would really be the right thing to do in the interest of transparency, to be as transparent as 165 Main Street Inc. and its board is being. So that should be something that is shown. And just to close here, all of this really could have been avoided. And I really question why, when the town of Seymour was offered this last time the chance to lease that parking lot, the private part of the parking lot, for $1,000 a year. $1,000 a year. How is that the right fiscal decision to make, to not do that, but to stir up all of these problems? These are questions I have. These are questions a lot of people have been asking us. And what I would just close in saying is that I really hope that since all of this information has now been provided to the Board of Selectmen and to anybody else who wants it, showing the actual map where the property line is, copy of the lease with the state of Connecticut with all the dates that everything has been filed, copy of text messages between the Strand Theater people and First Select Woman, letting her know on, I think, right after Thanksgiving that the lease had been filed. Since all of that information has been shared and is out there, I really do hope that we don't have any more people saying, as I was told the First Select Woman did at a recent meeting, that she would steal the sign if only her car wasn't a two-seater. And then we actually have video of a police officer going in and taking the sign down, going onto private property, taking the sign down twice, and the second time taking it away from the property and putting it on other private property, which is littering as well as trespassing and theft. And this is something they have video of, the chief is aware of, and has told me that that officer, who he knows who that was, and that officer has been disciplined. And I would hope that that attitude would continue, because all we want to do is run our businesses. Right now, the theater is filled. There are 270 people in that theater for a dance recital. This is, I think, the second or third recital they're having this week. These are all people, parents with little kids they've brought downtown. They're eating, they're shopping. This is what the Strand Theater, Guitar Fixer Bob, the Agave Diner, the Alumni Club, the Knights of Columbus Local Council, this is what they all bring downtown. And I think that it would be appreciated if the town of Seymour, in the persons of its leaders, would recognize that, step back from the vitriol and the invective, and just negotiate. Just come to an agreement that satisfies everybody, so we can all get on with making money and enjoying life in Seymour. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Please state your name and address for the record.
Name is Kevin Agbury. Address is 31 Robert Street. Good evening, Board of Select Persons and First Selectors. Just here today to introduce a community group I'm a part of called All In for Seymour. We have members there in the back. And briefly, All In for Seymour is an alliance of residents, community leaders, neighborhood organizations that make it possible for people to gather, feel like they can come up with community solutions together. We tap into each other's experiences, networks, and opportunities, basically to help people co-create solutions to make our neighborhood a better place to live. And also, I like your hat very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
David Morgan, President and CEO of Team Inc.,
David Morgan from Team.
located throughout the valley, but our administrative office is 30 Elizabeth Street, Derby. Two things. Number one, wanted just to express sincere gratitude for the work from this board, as well as all the various moving parts and councils of government and your staff and the first responders from medical to police to fire. It has just been, as from all of us at Team Inc., and as you know full well, we've responded to the needs of more than 2,200 residents of Seymour, and it has just been an inspiring convergence of good to things around home heating, housing our workforce, the Holiday Toys for Kids program. Lord have mercy, it is sunsetted today, so we could not have done it without that convergence for good from the town of Seymour. And so I hope you grin with pride and your first responders and your staff and first selectmen going such a real good steward. And I don't take that lightly. I don't do this on a recurring basis. I really want to carve that time out. And then lastly, I want to also applaud the town of Seymour on its work with the plan you adopted around housing our workforce last December. And as I was looking at your meeting minutes and your agendas and this commitment to building a locally designed committee to speak to the needs and wants of housing our entire workforce, from first responders to Griffin Hospital health workers, nonprofit workers, hospitality, our bar and restaurant workers, and how we can really house all of our workers in Seymour who pour themselves into it economically, environmentally, and socially. So, and as always, Team stands ready as an integral partner to give praise and push and loving agitation as we navigate that forward on how we look to writing that next chapter together of ensuring housing affordability from our older adults toward Gen Zers and millennials and everyone in between. So thank you, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me anytime if there's anything that Team Inc. can do to help.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment?
Just to, Madam Chairwoman, we did receive about 4:45 today an email from 165 Main Street Incorporated, and as is the practice, this will be passed to the clerk to be placed in the record.
Okay. Is there any other public comment? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, my name is Jenny Rice. I live at 58 Scarborough Street in Seymour, and I just wanted to say thank you to the town and specifically the building department. You to pass on the message that we served just our pantry a total of 23 families for holiday meals this season, and combined with the Oxford pantry because we were dividing up the the pickup times, a total of 40 families. And what we heard from people is that this is a need that is not necessarily being met in other places, that there's difficulty with accessibility. So without the support in terms of funding and advocacy, we would not be able to do the work that we're doing in the community. So just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment? Public comment going the third time. Okay. No public comment. No more public comment. Can I have approval of the minutes from the December 5th, 2023 regular meeting?
Seconded.
Motion by Al Bruno, second by Pat Lombardi. Discussion.
I believe you might have a redundancy on the appointment for ABA on page 3 and page 4.
Oh, with Kurt, it's item 8, and near item 8, says Kurt for ADA, and then in the middle of the second one on page 4, it's Kurt again. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
just be
It's
the
in
first
color.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
The second one.
All right. So,
What's this now?
okay, thank you. So if you can just correct that, please, and then we file a new one. And any other items, any other discussion? All in favor with the approval of that removal of the duplicate? I had to think about what I was saying.
That was a good catch.
Thanks.
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye, motion carried. Sorry, you weren't here, that's right. Chair votes aye, motion carries 601. Please note Selectman Finley's abstention. Thank you. Can I have a motion to go out of order? Because the next one is appointments, and that is pretty long.
Make a motion. What are we adding to the agenda?
Can we go in to take first Selectmen's reports and move it above, and next to item 5?
Motion to move number 13 for Select Women's report to number 5.
Motion by Trish, second by Al Bruno. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 700. Thank you. Okay. So, well, first of all, I want to congratulate Linda Stockmall, who was recognized by Griffin Hospital with the Daisy Award. The award is a part of the Daisy Foundation's mission to recognize the extraordinary compassionate care nurses provide patients and families every day. Linda is a nurse at Griffin Hospital CHF COPD Wellness Clinic, and I know what COPD stands for because my mother had it, but I do not know what CHF stands for. Teresa?
Congestive heart failure.
Thank you. Thank you. I attended the roundtable discussion with Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, Senator, Republican leader Kevin Kelly, Senator George Cabrera, Representative Cara Rochelle, Mayor Cassetti, Mayor Loretti, and David Morgan from TEAM. The purpose of this meeting was to propose an increasing in the LIHEAP funds, which is the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, by $35.5 million to accommodate the increased demand to expand benefits to our more seniors, working and middle-class families. Congress has only approved $72.1 million assistance for Connecticut. That is a 16.5 reductions from last year's level of assistance. Senator Kelly wrote a letter to President Biden and congressional leadership to urge them to work in bipartisan fashion to help Connecticut. So we know that that is an issue, and we're hoping to get some more help with that. The annual Santa and fireworks was held at Seymour High School instead of the Land Trust building. There was some kind of talk about that. The event was so well received at the high school, and the reason why it was moved to the high school was because it became so big that it was becoming a hazard to have it at the Land Trust. And with it being at the high school, there's more people for work to move around, and it's better for our emergency services people. Attended the Valley Soul Community Choir at the annual Griffin Health Hospital concert at Good Shepherd. The concert was very moving, very talented singers here in the Valley that came together. We just want to say thank you to the caregivers and our volunteers. It just shows what we all can achieve by working together towards a common goal, which is what we always say, right? We had the menorah lighting on Broad Street Park. The menorah lighting was postponed from Sunday due to the major rainstorm to this past Thursday, Thursday, yeah. Rabbi Heck was able to bring the gaslit menorah. Citizens Fire Department took part and helped with the gelt drop. They took the ladder truck up and they dropped the chocolate gelt down, which was kind of fun for the kids. Then we went over to the community center. We had some donuts, latkes, and some fun activities for the families. Tried and wanted to learn how to play the dreidel so I could get some Hershey Kisses. That didn't work too well. Attended the Greater Valley Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. It was an honor. 2 of our Seymour family-owned businesses, Microboard, it's no longer Microboard Processing, was honored with the Milestone Award for 40 years. The company is located in our Commerce Park and employs approximately 160 employees. So I want to thank Nicole for continuing her family's legacy and continuing to invest in Seymour, as well as the Greenwich Workshop on receiving the Silver Hammer Award from the Greater Valley Chamber of Commerce. As you know, we did their tax incentive at our last meeting. Greenwich Workshop, they purchased a property at 151 Main Street in 2002. They are known for limited sign prints, limited edition of arts, as well as frames. In 2020, a fire ripped through their building and destroyed it. Erin Meskel has invested over $2.5 million in remanufacturing her building after the fire. The business has moved their corporate office from Beacon Falls to the Seymour location, and we want to thank Erin and her family for continuing to invest in the building. We had 9 new businesses that have filed trade names in the town clerk's office. I took part in the Wreath Across America. As you know, each December, the National Wreath Across America Day, thousands of volunteers gather at the cemeteries to lay wreaths on our veterans. The act of unity and gratuity not only honors our veterans, but also brings communities together. Teaches our younger generations the value of service, sacrifice, and the importance of remembering those who came before us. As we just heard, parking lot 165 on Main Street, as we know, there's been a lot of back and forth with the state of Connecticut and the owners of 165, residents, merchants, patrons of the business. I have a copy that was sent over to us by the state of Connecticut Department of Transportation, Terry Obey, who is Director of Right-of-Way, and I'm going to read that letter into the minutes. I will give you all a copy of it, so you have it as well. Okay. The letter, let's go back to December. This letter goes back to December 6th. It was an email from Terry Obey to Attorney Kulas. It says, Attorney Kulas, I regret to inform you that the Department of Transportation will not be able to follow through on the lease agreement with 165 Main Street for the partial of land in Seymour. The Office of Right-of-Way erred when it determined this partial was available for lease. It was recently confirmed by the DOT's Office of Rail that the subject property is utilized for rail commuters parking in the Seymour train station. The town of Seymour, by agreement with the DOT, has maintained this station and its satellite parking facility since the early 1990s. My office was unaware of the rail agreement and as pertained to this partial and inadvertently processed it for lease. I do apologize for the oversight in this matter. That will undoubtedly cause some inconvenience. Any deposits that were submitted to the DOT will be returned expeditiously. The DOT did not accept an early rental payment, so the check will be returned as well. If you have entered into a subject property, please remove any personal items as quickly as possible. The town has control of the premises. Then on, that was his email to us. He forwarded us from Attorney Kulas. Then on December 7th, he sent us a copy of the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation, a certified letter to Attorney Kulas that says, Dear Attorney Kulas, subject of a termination of lease of state land, Seymour, Main Street, Connecticut, 115, Derby Street, Connecticut, Route 67, client 165 Main Street, Incorporated. This letter serves to provide official notice that the Department of Transportation, the department, is terminating your client's subject lease agreement, the agreement. Pursuant to Article 8 of the agreement, the department must provide a 30-day notice with termination. Said termination shall be effective as of January 7, 2024. Please ensure your client remove all personal property situated on the department's property and restore the area to prior to the termination date pursuant to Item 16 of the Standard Highway Specifications defined in Article 5 of the subject agreement. If your client agrees to waive the 30-day cancellation notice for the immediate termination of the agreement, the department will return the prorated rental fee for November of $133.30, as well as the rental fee for December of $400, as well as the initial $500 administration fee that was collected for the processing of the agreement. Please notify me by close of business December 11th, 2023, as to whether your client is agreeable for the immediate termination notice. I appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Should you have any questions, please contact me, and he lists his number, Terrence Obey. We have been informed that this 165 will continue the lease until January 7th, 2024. As of January 8th, 2024, the parking lot 165, with the exception of the 12 parking lots that are, as we have always stated, along the Strand Theater and the two facing the Main Street, are private parking. We've always stated that. Will be turned over back to this town for control. So that is that. Town Hall will be closed on Monday the 25th, Tuesday the 26th of December, and closed January 1. Trash will be delayed one day. Please make sure your receptacles are out the night before your pickup, and please do not put them over the storm drains. The transfer station will be open this Saturday and will be open on Tuesday, December 26th. I want to send out congratulations to Seymour High School for being the 2023-2024 Best U.S. High School. The U.S. News Best High School ranking included data for nearly 431 public schools, and in the state of Connecticut, Seymour High School is ranked 83 within Connecticut. Okay? Congratulations to our robotics team on their first match of the year. We can't wait to see what you're going to do in February. Good luck to the Seymour High School basketball teams, as well as our co-op hockey team on your season, which started. Wildcat Storage, which is located at 472 North Main Street, will be opening up soon. Divine One LLC has pulled permits and will start working on their building, which will be opening at 39 New Haven Road, which is the old Trilogy building. The Chavez Bakery building has closed and the entire shopping strip was sold. The new owners of that strip mall, if you will, is the owners of 67, Route 67 and Dock 34. It's my understanding the Chavez Bakery building will have, they'll be open for sandwiches, so people coming down 34 can get a sandwich, because there's not really a sandwich place besides Dunkin' Donuts on that side of town. Budget season, we start our summit January 9th and 10th, and we're always working on our budget, so we have our budgets in, so we get going on that. And that is it for my select ones report. Any questions from my guys? No? Good. All right. Thank you. Can I have a motion to move the possible discussion of possible regarding awarding the RFPs for the DPW fueling station facilities to item number 6? Well, it is item number 6. But we're just moving appointments
Why
down.
don't you move appointments to the end of wherever you want to do it?
Yeah, we'll move appointments to after the Ray Street discussion. How's that? So it'll become the new 8. Is that okay?
So moved.
Motion by Alberto,
Second.
second by Bob Finley. Discussion.
If I may, what are we voting on now? Moving the agenda item? Or
Yes.
the discussion and possible action regarding the RFPs?
We're voting on moving
Okay. Appointments, okay.
appointments down.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 7-0. Discussion and possible action regarding awarding the RFP for the DPW fueling station facility improvement project. We have Beth Mysteriak from B&B Engineering. Hello, Beth.
If I may, point of order.
Sure.
The agenda item reads discussion and possible regarding awarding. So we need to amend the agenda to include possible action. I'm sorry if I'm being technical,
It's okay.
but we're going to take
That is
action
why
on
you are
some
here.
important matters. Must be the head.
All right. Can I have a motion?
I move to amend the agenda item number 6, that's number 6, to read discussion and possible action regarding awarding the RFPs for the DPW fueling station facility improvement project.
Motion by Fred Stanek.
Second.
Second by Teresa. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 7-0.
Good. So good evening. As Anne Marie said, I'm Beth Mysteriak, B&B Engineering. We were asked to assist the town with modernizing the fueling facility at the DPW garage at Derby Ave. Today, they have a 3,000 gallon, 1,000 gallon diesel and gasoline tank that fuel all kinds of important vehicles, right? So, police, fire, and a lot of other agencies use that. The system is at its end of life, we'll call it. The actual fueling mechanisms are very dated, hard to get old parts for it, things like that. So we were asked to help with upgrading the station. So as part of that, we went out to bid. 2 different bids we did. One was for the demo of the existing station, and that's the first bid number you have, item I, on your agenda. That we are recommending to award to Crop Environmental. We received 2 bids. Crop was the low bidder. We reviewed their bids along with doing reference checks and recommend the award to that contractor. The second bid was for site and work as well as final restoration. Again, we received 2 bids, and John J. Brennan was the low bidder for that work. So you can see that in total, it represents almost $290,000 work between the 2 contracts, and this will move the town forward in terms of upgrading the facility and improving longevity of the system.
Thank you, Beth. Is there any questions on I?
If I may,
Absolutely. Selectman Stanek?
the bid that's titled package number 3, I just find that the 2 bids are so disproportionate to each other.
Yeah.
And when I see that, I start to wonder whether the low bid is valid and whether the high bid is valid.
Sure, we're confident in the low bid of Brennan.
You are.
Brennan is a very experienced site work contractor. This is kind of their main part of their business. Crop Environmental is more an environmental company where they're doing kind of tank work and other things. So I'm not surprised that Brennan was able to kind of be lower than Crop, just given their expertise. Brennan is also right down the road. Crop is on the other side of the state, so all that kind of factors in. So we're comfortable with Brennan's number and have reviewed it with them as well.
You're confident that
Yeah.
Brennan can do the job for the...
Absolutely. I personally have worked with Brennan before, so yes.
Convinced me.
And the bid for the work was separated into 2
It was.
structures. I was wondering why it wasn't put together for a holistic.
So we actually did that back in March. We bid the package as a whole, and bids were substantially higher than the budget.
Okay.
So it was an effort to kind of save the town some cost and bring the project in within budget. We separated the work. So with that, we bid the demo work because it is specific. It's a, very specific to environmental contracting. We might, engage that type of contractor. And then we bid the site work separately.
Kind of
because
separate.
It is,
Yeah,
once
'cause
you
they
get
are
the
2
tank
different
out of the way, not
right.
to be
Yep,
pretty
no, I
simple, but once
understood.
you get the tank out of the way, you'll have a nice clean site for
And
that.
in March, was it that far away from the numbers that we were getting in March, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
substantially higher in March. I think the town will reap the benefits of about a $50,000 savings.
Okay.
By bidding it separately, and it also chunks the work a little bit more, so,
No, that's perfect.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's why we did it.
That came in way over. Yeah, I didn't remember.
And you're familiar with Crop as well?
Yes.
And comfortable with
Yep.
this specific?
Yes.
I mean, I know you're recommending them and
Yeah,
they're the
no,
lowest
I think
bidder,
they're
but I
very
haven't heard of them before.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, so I
But
want to
having
be
them do
sure.
the environmental piece versus the site
Correct.
piece is the right.
It makes sense.
Okay,
And
Thank
Crop is experienced with this type of work.
thank you.
All in, we'll do them individually, how's that? So, can I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve Crop Environmental Contractors, Inc. for the demolition portion of the Public Works Fueling Facility Improvement Project at 721 Derby Avenue.
In the amount of?
Oh, you wanted the amount?
I'm sorry?
The amount of.
In the amount
Oh,
of-
in the amount of $50,250,
Not to exceed.
not to exceed.
Second.
Second by Al Bruno. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Item number 2.
Well, I think I covered it. This is the second half of that, this is the site work, which we recommend John J. Brennan do for the 241-750. Again, very familiar with the contractor, very competent contractor. And like we said, this will just be the site work, so drainage improvements, pavement restoration, and getting the site back to kind of bringing the new tank into operation.
Make a motion to approve John J. Brennan Construction Company, Inc. for the site work for the Public Works Fueling Facility Improvement Project located at 721 Derby Avenue, not to exceed $241,750.
Motion by Trish,
Second.
second by Al Bruno, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried 7-0. Thank you, Beth.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding of Ray Street. Attorney Leclerc.
Thank you, Madam First Selectwoman. You may recall this matter, it was before you several months ago. This was a request by Jesse Judson, a surveyor on behalf of the property owner of 25 New Haven Road and 6 Ray Street. These properties have, through the center of them, if you will, a portion of a road known as Ray Street, a town road. It's currently used basically as a driveway into one of the buildings owned by this individual, and has a lawn area and a wooded area. They requested that this property be abandoned, that this roadway section at the end of Ray Street, phase off of Garden, as you're aware, be abandoned, and it would allow the owner of the property to merge his two properties into one contiguous parcel and develop it with a new 4,000 to 6,000 foot medical building. You sent this for an 824 review to the Planning Commission. They endorsed this back several months ago. As of just this afternoon, we finally received the legal description, the proposed legal description of this that we were waiting for that portion of Ray Street. So if you're prepared, you can vote on the abandonment of this section of Ray Street to the adjoining property owner, I should say, this time.
Thank you. Teresa, I know you weren't on the board, but do you?
But yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay. Can I have a motion to?
Authorize the abandonment
Yep.
of
Yeah,
Ray
my
Street
brain
and the
wasn't going
town
that
attorney's
fast.
office to prepare the necessary conveyance documents to effectuate the same.
Yep.
So moved.
That motion,
I'll second.
Motion by Teresa, second by Bob. Discussion?
If I may,
Absolutely.
I still have an issue why we are not abandoning the entire Ray Street. It's a short street. If we abandon the entire street, Public Works doesn't have to plow that. We don't have to maintain it. We can alleviate ourselves of maintaining a section of road that's not needed for the public. Then it makes sense to abandon the entire roadway.
Well, I think we asked Dr. Zeppos that, and he wasn't interested in that upper portion of Ray Street because it didn't make sense for the business and the property that he owned.
But it
So
doesn't
we-
make sense to maintain this short strip. The house on the corner has access to Garden Street. It just doesn't make sense to me why we are not abandoning the entire roadway.
Because there's still two houses, well, that use that
That
road,
utilize it.
that utilize that road, and that's still our responsibility. And I believe it was Frank Gabinelli, who is our Public Works Director, that said the amount of time that it takes to plow that road is nothing, because the guys are coming down and they're just pushing the snow off to the side. Anyway, so it's not taking any more time, and it's not using any more product than normal.
There are the two properties. One is to the south, that is the medical building, the dentist's office. It has no ingress or egress, doesn't use that Ray Street at all. The other house, the house across the street on the north side, has access and egress through Garden Street. And even with abandonment, it would still have the right to use that little strip.
I understand that, but they're not making another road to go through there. They're actually building, so that road is still going to be there.
I just don't understand why we don't rid ourselves of the responsibility of taking care of this little strip. It's just a way to save a few tax dollars, I think, over time.
I don't disagree, but we can't force Dr. Zeppos to take.
No, he wouldn't be forced to take it.
Well, then who's gonna maintain that road?
You have to maintain it
You have
because
to
of the
maintain
house
that
is
road.
there.
The house to the north doesn't need it. The house to the north would have access, a right of ingress and egress to it. No one would have to maintain it.
Is there only the one property, the 2 Ray Street, which was the medical
Well,
building back there?
the way it looks, I have a picture of it, it's just the way it looks. So he has an entrance coming into the building on that front property, and then there's actually an exit that allows you to make the right on Ray and then onto Garden. I think personally, from a safety standpoint, I like the fact that people come out on Garden and get back onto 67 versus even coming out that entranceway that he has. So I don't know, from a business standpoint, I'm looking at it saying I can understand why he may still want Ray Street open, so people, when they do leave his property, they go to Garden and back out to 67 versus out the entranceway. You know what I mean?
Maybe
You see
for
what I'm trying to
emergency
get at, right?
Absolutely.
Because it is a smaller, see, it's kind of a smaller entranceway. And that goes right into that one lane, so it's kind of, I think it's a better positioning to have access to Garden Street from the back of his building, I think.
Is there any way to share what Bob's saying with the group, so everybody can see?
You can see the picture if you want. I just kind of pulled up you want to pass this? Yeah. You'll understand what I mean when you see the roadway. And that's why he may still want access to the back
This
exit
is the
for
road that's
his,
currently there. He just
Right.
wants to take that so we don't continue that road going down further,
Right.
but be able to come out of this building here.
and that comes right into that one lane.
Go ahead. And those houses still use it to park on the side of the road, and
These
maybe
houses.
for emergency purposes, to
Maybe
get a
fire
fire truck down there, to get an ambulance
No,
down
that's
there.
not, yeah,
My
from a cost
understanding-
standpoint, it's not.
And Mr. Selectman Stanek, my memory could be off, but my
The one
understanding
that's
were
taken
those
over, right?
houses still did use, even on occasion, that part of the road.
This one building is
cars.
owned by Mr. Zeplis.
Correct,
Correct.
that's it, so that's gonna be part of this
6
parcel.
And he has an exit out the back of
This house
his,
has access to Garden
That's,
Street.
that's their, over there.
That's their
They
parking.
they have their parking lot.
It
They
would
have
make
this
more
house.
sense
Their
if he
driveway.
just took all that, and I understand what you're saying about the, exit out, because still that would be a second driveway. I mean, he's got more than 200-foot frontage on each end. He could have 2 driveways.
I'm just saying if I was him as a business owner, I do like the fact of having that back exit still available. So that roadway makes
Correct.
that.
But that could
kinda
be his
have-
other driveway coming out.
That is something that we could talk about him down the road, but right now, it's just this paper road that the town is going to abandon.
Is it me? I think there was question with the neighbors too, that he wasn't trying to upset the neighbors because they do still utilize that part of the road. They might not need it, but it's a constant that they do utilize it, so he
Again,
wasn't looking
I can't
to-
imagine it from a cost standpoint being a big impact.
I can't either.
Every stretch of road has to be repaved at some point,
But it's,
maybe 40 years from now. It just makes sense to me that if we're doing this, we might as well abandon the entire road. I'm not going to oppose and vote no, I'm just articulating my concerns.
Maybe that's something we can address with them down the road.
Ryan, what do you think?
I was going to say, in conjunction with the, abandoning of this portion of the road, I will, Attorney Stanek, reach out to them regarding that proposal as well.
Yeah.
Raise that issue with them.
Okay.
What their thoughts are, taking the roadway.
Again, the property owner to the south of Ray Street doesn't use it at all.
Right.
The one to the north.
Correct. So, yeah, I'll do that. I'll require.
Thank you.
I just want to add this because I overheard it, and it's something Brian will appreciate because he uses horrendous puns all the time. So Brian, you'll address it down the road. Just making sure. Just making sure I got you.
That was even better than yours.
Wow. Rubbers hit the road. Claire is giving commands. In first gear.
Oh, my
All
gosh.
in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Appointments. Yay. You ready? Where did we last leave off? At our last meeting,
We left off on page 2.
right, so everyone on page 1 has all set. Should we go through page 1 again or no?
No.
Thank you. I just had to ask everybody.
Last one approved was the town engineer.
On whatever page you're looking at.
We are looking at town engineer, roads and drainage. Oh,
Yeah,
We did that
yours may not be in order. You have to look for it.
town engineer WPCA, we approved that one. We're on the treasurer, Kurt Miller. Treasurer, Kurt Miller.
Assistant.
Treasurer, Kurt Miller, can I have a motion
Don't you
to?
do the
Motion
whole
to
thing?
approve.
Don't you say the whole thing?
No, because we have the treasurer and then we have a tree warden. So it's not the whole thing.
No, I mean, don't
assistant,
usually
too.
say the name of the post, the person's
Oh,
name.
sorry.
Yeah.
Treasurer Kurt Miller, Republican, appointed 2 years, thank you, Al. December 4th, 2023, expires 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Pat,
Second.
second by Al
Second.
Bruno. Sorry, discussion?
I have some questions.
Okay.
This treasurer position, I see it's listed for Thursdays from 4 PM to 5:30 on the website.
I don't think we have it on our website.
It is on the website today.
4 to 5:30? Okay.
Listed as 4 PM to 5:30 on Thursday.
Can you pull up the town website? I don't remember seeing that, but okay. Not that I don't believe you.
Yeah, no. See on the bottom?
4 to 5:30. Okay.
So it says 4 to 5:30, but we also have the same person in the position in town, the first select board's office, with the hours from 8 to 4:30.
Mhm.
So there's an overlap of 4 o'clock to 4:30?
Okay. So then he'll probably work 4:30 to 5:30. Remember, what the treasurer does is he deals with bonding as well. So there may be times that he's working longer hours or,
And how do you do the accountability for the hours? Is there a time sheet or anything?
there is no timesheet. It's a salaried position. The treasurer's position has always been a salaried position. It's never been an hourly position. Everybody who has been in that position never came in and punched a clock or filled out a timesheet prior to, and I don't think Kurt did, or the person that did that position prior to ever did that before, or even Mr. Fedor or Bob Kay, or, God. Yeah, I didn't see that on the website either, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But Kurt would, if he takes that hour and he'll do it afterwards, signing checks, go through it, any payments, do that time. If it's meeting with bond counsel, it may be during the day when bond counsel's working, and then he'll have to do his CAO tab a little bit later. But it's accounting for those hours that he's working. His contract calls him to work a 35-hour work week, just like all the employees in Town Hall except for me. But within him working his 5 hours a week on that, sometimes it goes later than that.
And what does that position pay?
That position pays $10,000 a year.
All right.
If you want to break it down by week, that's $192 a week, I believe.
But to be clear, if
138
there's a bonding issue in town, to Teresa's point, if there's a bonding issue in town and Kurt's expected to help them and he has to work 8 hours that week,
Yeah.
or 15 hours that week, depending on the complexities, because being on the Board of Finance, and I'm sure you know, Teresa, that can be quite a timely and complex task to complete. He's expected to do that on top of his 35 hours.
Absolutely.
And he, as a highly compensated employee, is not getting any additional money either way, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Like tonight, he's here at the meeting,
Right.
right? So he won't be getting any additional monies for being here at the meeting,
Just like us.
just like us.
But we have no one else, I mean, I would like in the future that we would have somebody that's more disposable time that they can go and do this job, and not have to worry about an employee in one position having an overlapping position.
Something we can look at, yeah.
I did have the same concern and did ask that question, and we kind of halted appointments last
Right,
week.
Right.
But the issue for me that's been made clear, and I do agree with, when checks come in and have to be signed, someone has to be available. Even if someone like me were willing to do that, I'm not going to necessarily be readily available during town hall hours and may not even make it back to town to sign checks after work. So that's become a little bit of a challenge, and finding someone qualified, it's not just signing checks, it's again,
Right.
working with, working on bond, anything, when they're in, talking about bonding, that takes someone with a very special expertise, and someone who has to be available during town hours. So I've kind of lightened my stance on that myself.
Well, maybe when we work on the charter revision, we can look at combining, since this is a new position that Mr. Miller's in. It's a new position, right?
No, Rory had that position.
No.
Rory was the CAO before.
Maybe we can look into merging that into the,
Um,
because I don't think we have that in the charter, do we, that position?
the CAO, that's not, no town, the only position in the charter is the first select person's administrative assistant, which is in the charter, and the town treasurer's position. Those are the only positions in charter, because they have to be separate.
Right.
But it's something to look at.
What you're thinking of, though, there was a new position that was, the town was interested in, had something to do, and don't put me in the special projects, right? So that position, just for your benefit, because you weren't on the board then, that position was completely eliminated because Kurt's doing both of those jobs.
Correct.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Under that, the CAO title made sense, rather than hire another full-time person.
For just that role.
No, you don't need to explain it to me. It's explained already, thank you.
If I may.
Yes.
I think this discussion was good and necessary to make it clear to the public that the CAO, whoever he or she is, will work 35 hours a week in that job, and the treasurer's position is on top of that. Whether it takes 1 hour a week or 10 hours a week, that position is on top of that. And
Right.
I think this was a good discussion,
I agree.
and I have the utmost respect and confidence in Mr. Miller that he'll comply with that.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Noes? Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Assistant Treasurer Bill Sawicki, Democrat, appointed for 4 years. Nope, 2 years.
I was just gonna ask.
12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025. Have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trish,
Second.
second by Al. Discussion?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Have you had an assistant treasurer before?
Yes, our charter also calls out that we have an assistant, so Bill Sawicki was the treasurer before that, and before that it was Bob Koskolowski, before that it was John Conroy, before that it was, I want to say Guy Fedor, but I think he's a cooking guy.
Okay, and is that a paid
John
position?
Fedor. No, that is not a paid position.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Tree Warden Sean Stramello, you, appointed 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
I would like to move to appoint Sean Stramello, tree warden for the term cited.
I'll second it.
Motion by Fred, second by Bob Finley. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Thank you.
First, one point of order.
Yeah.
The rest of them, if you want to do them in blocks by page, you can.
Yes. Okay. Block is the Emergency Management Director.
You can either do by blocks by page, or if you'd like to, since you all have the package, you can read them all. Emergency management director, read each category as set forth. The package is in one vote, your call on that.
Let's do it
And then one vote on everything.
the shortest and quickest way.
We usually do it by block at least.
Yeah, it's what it was done.
The blocks, probably the way to
So,
do
you know,
it.
saying that if you wanted to, since you have it in front of you, you have the sheet. you could walk
Well,
through that.
if I may recommend, we will do it, just to back up, we started doing it individually rather than in blocks because we were finding that there were people in question within those blocks. And I clearly remember there being a request we do them individually. To save time for tonight, I would recommend we do them in blocks and then pause. If someone has a question on somebody, we can read that particular block in one by one.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Emergency Management Director. Director Assistant and Emergency Director Deputy.
So moved.
Motion by Al,
Seconded.
second by Pat Lombardi. Discussion?
Point of order, I think the names should be.
The names have to be,
We just went through this, Alan, didn't we? I thought we
No,
were,
Just articulate.
just the names.
Not the individual votes, just articulate the names.
I'm gonna be here all night. Tom Amy, Director. Director Assistant, John Buccarati, Tim Willis. I thought we weren't gonna read names, so it'd be easier, but okay. All in favor?
All for an appointment of 2 years.
All for an appointment of 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Oh,
Motion by Trish, second by
Seconded.
Al. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Hold on.
I'll make a motion to approve the Affordable Housing Committee of Allison Pond, Jean Chapman, Jenny Ann Rice, Marietta Sabetta, Mary Ann Robinson, and Rosalie Averill, all for an appointment of 2 years, ending on 12/1/25.
Motion by Trish,
Second.
Second.
second by Fred. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agent, Bob Newton, Evelyn Molnar, Kathy Rich, Phyllis Jackomowski, Susan Riley, starting 12/4/23 to 12/1/2027. It's an appointment for 4 years. All in favor?
One said, now, wait, one says
Oh.
2025.
Sorry, hold
So
on.
Yeah, we need to change.
We need to change that.
Kathy.
2 years.
Are these all supposed to be 4 years, Mr. Miller? Okay, so this
Honest
is
to God.
a typo.
The typo. On the third,
Third one's on
Kathy
Kathy
Rich.
Rich.
Kathy Rich.
Okay, what is Kathy Rich? What is the issue, Kathy Rich?
27.
It's got to go to 27.
Okay,
Just a typo, so they're all for an appointment for
Hey, I
4
caught
years.
that.
dang it. Okay. 2027. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trish, second by Pat Lombardi. All in favor?
Aye.
You go to the next one.
Make a motion for the Board of Public Works, Bill Stowe, Jim Curtella, Tom LaPaglia, Quinn Levy, and select person Patrick Lombardi, all an appointment for 2 years expiring December 1st, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Trish, second by Al. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Please note, it's 601. Please note Selectman Lombardi's abstention. Thank you. Catchment Area Number 5, Lee Heller, appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025. Catchment 5 is with Birmingham Healthcare, the mental health, and he is assigned to us by Naugatuck Valley Health Department.
So moved.
Motion by Al,
Second.
second by Bob. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion for the Communication Committee, Brian Ryan, Chris Edwards, Ed Henry, Frank Gabinelli, John Buccarati, Kurt Miller, Rob Dyer, and Tom Amy, all for an appointment of 2 years expiring December 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Trish, second, motion by Pat, second by Al. All in
No,
favor?
I
No,
made the
motion by
motion. She made the
Trish. I had it right the
Second.
first time.
You did.
Second by
Seconded.
Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. Culture and Arts Commission,
Make a motion for Culture and Arts Commission, Diane Riccardi, Judy Simpson, Kelly Rogg, Linda Bellavant, Priscilla Altarelli, Teresa Dunlap, and Valerie Deanna, all an appointment for 2 years expiring December 1st, 2025.
motion by Trish,
Second.
second by Bob Finley. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for the Economic Development Commission, Brian Sirowich, Dom Violano, Joe Orlando, Roxana Finley, and Henry Thompson Smith, all an appointment for 3 years expiring December 1st, 2026.
We had to add that one.
Second.
I'll
Henry
give you mine.
Smith.
Henry Thompson Smith. Motion by Trish, second by Al. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Please note Bob Finley's abstention. Motion carries 601.
Motion for the Events Committee, Alex Danka, Alyssa Antonucci Avinia, Danielle Capizzello, Harvey Catlin, Jill Demko, John Stelma, Paul Chapla, Preet Singh, and Stephanie Danka, all for an appointment, and Preet Sekdova, all for an appointment of 2 years expiring on December 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
There, she was left off. Sorry.
If I may,
Go ahead.
I thought the name of the committee is Parade and Events Committee.
All right, we will change that.
Okay, I'm just,
It's a parade in events.
I thought it was just changed to events.
Events, I
but
thought it
never
was, maybe I
changed
was
to
wrong.
events.
But it's okay.
I think Alex wanted it that way, and we did change it for clarity. I believe we did.
Parade and events.
Did we just change it to event?
I thought it was events.
Right?
Everywhere they have it,
I was on the committee
Right.
until a year ago, it was Parade and Events, and I don't recall it's changing.
We should check that.
We'll check it.
Anyway,
Can I have that
not a big
copy?
deal.
Can I have that copy back so I can make sure I can give it back to the recording
Nitpicking.
secretary? Okay, Fair Housing Coordinator. Oh, we didn't vote it. All in favor?
Aye. Thank
Chair
you.
votes aye, motion carries 6-0. Okay, Fair Housing Coordinator, Guy Caruso, it's appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/4/2025.
12/1/2025.
12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025. Okay. Have a
So
motion?
Second.
Motion by Trish, second by Bob, on discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0.
Housing Authority, Tamisha Davenport, Dominic Bellucci, Iselina Ortiz, Rebecca Golieski, all an appointment for 4 years expiring December 1st, 2027.
Second.
Motion by Trish, second by Bob, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Northwest Communications, Tom Amy's appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023, expires 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Trish,
Second.
second by Al Bruno, discussion. All in favor?
Motion for Inland Wetlands, Greg Garrix, James Forsyth, Peter Aquilina, Michael Flynn, PJ Weitzler, all an appointment for 4 years expiring 12/1/2027.
Second.
Motion by Trish, second by Pat Lombardi, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Livable Community Committee, Elizabeth Mutzo, Jennifer Bohuniak, Sandra Gossick, Susan Riley, Tom LaPaglia. It's an appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023, expires on 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Trish, second by Teresa, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. LEPC, we're going to table this one.
I'd like to make a motion to table the
Motion.
local emergency planning committee.
Motion by Al,
Seconded.
second by Trish, discussion. It's on the table. Just vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Open burning officials, Tim Willis, Paul Wedowitz, Tom Amy. It's an appointment for 2 years, with an expiration of 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Bob,
Seconded.
second by Pat, discussion.
What do they actually do?
So, someone wants to have a bonfire, somebody has to burn a
They have
big
to-
pile of something, they have to go get a
Have to
big
go to,
brush, they have to get a burning permit. Bonfires like the middle school had, they have to get a burning permit. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Parks Commission, BJ Popolis, John Zwolinski, Mike Dion, Pat Dempsey, Phil Willamy. Have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Al,
Second?
second by Teresa, discussion. All in favor? Chair votes aye, motion carries. Pearson Memorial, Leanna McMurray, Veronica Hoffman, is appointment for 2 years, 2023 to 2025. Motion by Teresa, second by Al, discussion.
I just want to just say that they do a wonderful job with taking donations. They just raised money to give to 13 servicemen that are active in the service, and it makes a big difference. I've heard personally from these people how it's, they get some money and it's like people at home are thinking of them. So if you haven't donated this year, put it on the calendar for next year.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Planning and zoning alternate, Patrick Lampart, Mary Ann Robinson. It's appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Trish.
Seconded.
Second by Pat Lombardi, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Recreation Commission, Jamie Yakovich, Stacy Fabiano, Tim Sadik, Steve Ditria, Vinnie Carfo. It's appointment for 2 years, 12/1/2024 to
So
12.
moved.
Second, motion by Bob,
Chairman, if I may, it says 2 years beginning 1/1/2024.
That's two.
by charter, it's
Yep.
Yeah, you
Start
thought
1/1/2024
thought
to
you got her.
12/31/2026.
Oh, 6, if it's 2, yeah.
Yep.
well, no, there's 2 years.
It is.
All 2.0.
It is.
So typo, yeah.
2021, 2020, 2024, 2025. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Jeez.
You should take the time.
That's right.
Ooh.
Only it's, you made a mistake before, so it's just what you jump to, right? There you go.
Some of us can admit our mistakes.
You guys have been hitting mine for quite some time.
Well, can I have a motion?
I make
Motion by Bob. Who seconded it? I need a second by Al. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. Be nice to get the Recreation Commission going again. Yeah, that did trigger again. Regional, we gotta do these individually. Regional Brownfield Study, Jim Baldwin, 2 years, 2023 to 2025.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Trish, second by Bob. All, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Regional Planning, Jim Baldwin, 2 years, 2023 to 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Pat,
Second.
second by Al Bruno. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Regional Planning Alternate, Kurt Miller, appointed 2 years, 2023 to 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Bob,
Second.
second by Trish. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Noes, abstains. Motion, okay. Regional Water Authority, Beth Nasiriak, appointed 2 years, 12/4/2023.
I will move the appointment of Beth Musteriak.
Second.
Motion by Fred, second by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussions? Good. Moving on. South Central Regional Council Board of Directors, Brian Ryan, appointed for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So
The appointment.
Motion
second.
by Fred, second by Pat Lombardi. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh my God, we're almost to the end. Strategic Planning Committee, Bob Finley, Brianna Gerard, Kathy Verlick, Stefan Bohuniak, Trish Danka. It's an appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025. Have a motion? Motion by Al,
Second.
second by Teresa. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Motion carries 5-0-2. Please note Trish Danka and Bob Finley's abstention.
Yep.
Transportation Tech Advisory Committee, Brian Nasteriak, appointment for 2 years, 2023 to 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Bob Finley, second by Al Bruno. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Valley Health District Board Member, Marietta Sabetta, Rosalie Averill. It's an appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Al, second by Trish. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Abstentions? I was just getting there. Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0-1. Please note Attorney Selectman Stanik's abstention. Gotta figure out which hat you're wearing. I almost said Santa.
Santa today.
Valley Transit District, Mary McNellis, Tara Miller. It's appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Motion by Bob, second by Al. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 7-0. Thems, Scott Andrews. It's an appointment for 2 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trish, second by Fred. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Water Pollution Control Authority, WPCA, Bob Finley, Jim Cretella, Nick Dodosio, Rob Van Egan, Stefan Bohuniak, and its appointment for 4 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2027.
So moved.
Motion by Trish, second by Teresa. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?
Abstain.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0-1. Please note Selectman Finley's abstention. Zoning Board of Appeals, Phil Willamy, Robert Nerone, John Duke, Rich Demko, Paula Chapla, and Kristen Hanowitz. to the appointment for 4 years, 12/4/2023 to 12/1/2027. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Pat.
Second.
Second by Bob Finley. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. God. Bless it. We did that one, we did that one, okay. Executive session, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss contract negotiations regarding 98 Bank Street sale? In that, I would like to have Attorney Leclerc and Chief Administrative Officer Kurt Miller. Steve, this tree, it doesn't.
8:13.
8:13. Motion by Trish,
Seconded.
second by Pat Lombardi. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
insanity, but insanity. So moving it up to the high school just made sense to keep everybody safe. And also want to wish everybody, I attended the Great Hill dinner event last night only because I heard about it from Tom Amy during the day, because I also did not read my packet until today. But it was a wonderful time. I was so thankful to be invited, and I thank them for what they put on every year and for everything that they do. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I'm sorry, did I miss one?
Hanukkah's over.
Oh, well, Hanukkah's over, but I didn't get to say Happy Hanukkah yet, so belated. I knew it was over, but, still the season. To everybody, and look forward to a wonderful new year.
Thank you, Trish. Al?
Yeah, I just want to express my condolences for the passing of Rick Belden, folks and families, well, he worked in Shelton too. So that's been tough. We definitely felt it. Seymour used to be Seymour's finance director for Board of Ed. Also, just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hope you have a good time with your friends and family, and spend time with those who matter most.
Selectman Stan?
Thank you. I'd like to announce that the Bungay School Facility Needs Study Committee has completed its work. Its last meeting was on December 14th. And as we mentioned at the last meeting, the committee will be making a presentation of its report and its recommendations to this board at the January 2nd meeting of this board. The committee is up to maybe 20 minutes time of this board to present a PowerPoint presentation and written report.
Okay.
I would also like to, as a member of this board, express my gratitude and thanks to all the organizations, governmental organizations, private organizations who have made this holiday season so festive here in Seymour. It's really terrific how everybody comes together this time of year. Blood Street Park is decorated beautifully. Culture and Arts, Public Works, and whoever else was involved to be commended. It's just a beautiful park, which leads me to the proposal that we think about naming it something other than Broad Street Park sometime. Maybe talk about that early next year.
We could.
I think the name Broad Street Park doesn't mean much except the road, but I know once upon a time there was a proposal to name it something for veterans, but objected to that because it's already a Veterans Grove.
We have Veterans Grove at French Park.
I thought of a name, but maybe we could have a contest with that students.
That's a good idea.
That'd be good.
It's, we could talk about it in January meeting.
And with that, in the words of Clement Clark Moore, who wrote to us the night before Christmas, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
You should have went last. We're not there yet.
If you don't say anything, you did.
Unfortunately.
Teresa, just say not good night yet.
Unfortunately.
Not good night yet.
Are you good?
I'm good.
All right. I have a couple things. When we had the hearing or the presentation a couple weeks ago on the 6742 connector, there was an issue about the cemetery.
Yeah.
So I have a little from the Seymour past and present. There is a cemetery up there. I don't know where. It was abandoned in 1795, 100 feet up from the road tracks. That's from the Seymour past and present. So, leave that down the road.
It was abandoned, you say?
Yeah,
Is
well,
it
last time
visible, or are you saying we're gonna run into something weird?
No, I think we're gonna run into a graveyard up there,
What,
an old one.
was that before the,
Poltergeist,
before the flood they were there?
1795.
1795, you said? Okay.
A long time ago. I also want to say about the fireworks and Santa Claus. I had mixed feelings about it moving up to the high school. My parents were, as you know, were very involved. My father was Santa Claus for many years. He actually started up those fireworks, getting that going. So I had mixed feelings about it, leaving Legion Pool and going to the high school. I think he would be proud of how big it has gotten and how many people get enjoyment out of it. So thank you to all that continue to carry on these traditions. I have, last meeting, my first meeting, and people were saying about not being able to hear. They think this microphone is a microphone. Is there a way we can get a microphone in here so when people do public comment, they can hear better?
We can look at that, yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think this is a microphone. And it
Well,
really
yeah,
isn't.
this microphone goes right
Picks
to
up
the
the
It goes right to the
TV.
TV, right? Yeah.
All right,
Or
and
YouTube.
I'm going to request for next meeting in January, if we could put on the agenda just to discuss and possibly take action on the way we're doing our minutes. I know it changed in the last couple of months, but I'd like to have a little bit more of a discussion about it on the way we're doing it. And then finally, well, not finally, I did get that packet today from the 165 Main Street, and I do have a lot of concerns. I have to be honest, it's kind of disheartening how we're having this going on. I'm going to be honest, when I left last meeting 2 weeks ago, I went online because I'm a student of history and nature. And I wondered, I said, what kind of lawsuits does the town of Seymour have going on? So I went on the Connecticut Judiciary site, and it popped up, 165 Main Street. And I said, I was just in the meeting, and it was filed the day before our meeting. I didn't know about that. We have an ongoing lawsuit, or I guess we have a lawsuit, with 165 that the town of Seymour's doing action on as plaintiff. And I feel like as a Board of Select person, I should know these things. We have a whole issue going on in this town about the parking, and we've always had the issue of not enough parking in Seymour. Now we have it of business people against the town against business people. There must be an easy resolution that we can come to this. I mean, I'm about compromise. I was up in the House and I know how to compromise. We shouldn't be sitting here today like fighting over who's going to get this parking spot. This isn't the way Seymour should be. So this letter is very lengthy. I'd like it to be read into the minutes, if you don't mind.
We could, do we have it?
The minutes are ready.
It's attached to the
All right, well, I'll make it a little brief. It's from 165 Main Street. It was signed by the people there. Denise Kuas? Oh, no, Joe Majoris. And they sent in the maps. They sent in that they had the lease. I see that we had the lease agreement was signed by the state, and then the state says, oops, we made a mistake, which boggles my mind that it could go from the Department of Transportation to our Attorney General to get signed off on, and then we find out that we're telling the people that got the lease, your lease isn't any good. So I'm in a tough spot here because I want to make sure we have enough parking in downtown Seymour for our businesses. And I know it's a private entity, and I'm on the town side, but we must be able to come up with some kind of resolution much more easier than what we're doing with lawsuits. I don't know what this lawsuit's costing. I'd like to know that amount in the end. Because, well, I'm just going to say that from what I read on this, we could have leased this land for $1,000. I don't know if that was the answer, but I'm sure doing a lawsuit's going to be costing us more than $1,000. I know we can't make much comment on this, but maybe we can also put this on the agenda for our January meeting as of right now, 165 Main Street, it looks like does have the legal authority until January 7th. And I believe that'll be after our next meeting.
So we can talk about it January 2nd meeting,
Perfect.
absolutely. And regarding that, it's a motion of discovery, correct? Bill of discovery.
And I believe there's a hearing on that tomorrow, so we should be able to get more information.
Status conference on it tomorrow.
Something on it,
It's
yeah.
not a lawsuit, it's a bill of discovery.
Okay.
Proceeding. Without saying too much, if you're going to discuss this, you should do this in executive session at the appropriate time, given the issues being discussed.
Okay, so we can do that next. Perfect. Thank you. And let's see, I think that's about it. Outside of that, I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and be safe this holiday season, and we'll see you all in a couple weeks.
With that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Pat, Trish, second by Pat, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Right, I got Chris Edwards.